This is complete messed up situation for the Zionist forces. They are literally trapped in Gaza. They are now acknowledging, at least some of their analysts, so-called experts, coming out and letting the whole world know how messed up the situation right now in Gaza for these IDF forces. I'll be sharing with you some pictures, and that way you will know what these events are all about, and the name and the face that you so desire to see and hear. That will be provided to you from this video for free. But before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. Let's take a look at this particular news article here. So the Israeli army acknowledges the deaths of 3 soldiers while Palestinian resistance group continue to claim heavy Israeli losses in ongoing operations in Gaza. This is very rare that the IDF would acknowledge that, but this time they did. Good for them. On Monday, Israeli occupation forces confirmed the death of an officer and 2 soldiers, as well as the injury of 2 soldiers during clashes with Palestinian resistance forces in the Gaza Strip. Who are these soldiers and who are these officers? These are the faces. They all were eliminated. These IDF forces were eliminated. One of them is an officer. I think the officer might be the middle one, I'm not sure, but 2 soldiers along with him were also eliminated, and this is something very much of a daily occurrence. Why? Because if you take a look at the pictures that I showed you in my previous videos, you will know that they are losing the IDF forces. They're losing their reservists, their high-ranking officers on a regular basis. So I have shared with you this person's photo the other day, and he is an IDF reservist captain, Amit Levy. He was killed fighting in central Gaza Strip. Then along with him, I have also shown you in a separate incident, these 3 other Israeli soldiers or terrorists were also killed, and they were serving in the Kafir Brigade, Shimshon Battalion. And then I showed you this picture. This is the Netza Yehuda Brigade. This brigade is so notorious, even United States, they sanctioned this group. So you can imagine the losses and how notorious they are, these IDF forces. Now these 3 soldiers, they are from this brigade, Nahal Brigade, and they were there to do an operation and try to kill more innocent Palestinian civilians when they were attacked and they were killed. An Israeli military spokesperson announced late Monday that the officer and soldier were killed and 2 others critically injured in fighting in northern Gaza. The Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that the officer and soldier, both from Nahal Brigade, were killed by an anti-tank missile in the Beit Hanun area in northern Gaza. Beit Hanun area is becoming a big trap and a big headache for the Zionist state of Israel, because Beit Hanun, if you don't remember, is the same place from where the resistance forces, they have launched attacks, rocket attacks in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, and west of Israel, Zionist state of Israel. They believed, the Zionist forces, that Beit Hanun is cleared from any resistance fighters, and therefore they were kind of like almost taking a victory lap on that, only to find out that not only the resistance forces, they are still active and alive there, but also they were launching missiles and rockets. Now the missile that was launched, I believe there were 2 of them, and according to some understanding, we can say that those missiles were not ordinary missile or projectiles, rather they were the ballistic missiles launched from Gaza. Now this is from the Nahal Brigade. Now also there is a place, as you can see on the screen, Al-Vai. This place also came under attack, and they have lost one of their resident. These are settlers. You can clearly see from the pictures. So far from this area, these settlers, 10 of them were eliminated since the genocide started on Gaza. From the resistance forces, they have fired rockets, and they were able to inflict harm and damage to these settlers, these terrorist settlers. Now let's actually go back to this newspaper from Haaretz reported that the officer and soldier, both from Nahal Brigade, were killed by an anti-tank missile in the Beit Hanun area in northern Gaza. So again, shows how important or what kind of a battleground it had become, Beit Hanun. Earlier on Monday, the Benjamin Regional Council announced the death of another Israeli soldier. So how many we have now? 4 of them. A resident of the settlement of Alai, as I have shown you the picture here. This is Alai, and a resident was killed from here. The channel further, so it came on Israeli channel 12. The channel further noted that the settlement of Alai, located in the central West Bank, has lost 10 of its residents since the start of the Israeli war on Gaza. I will actually share with you the other report in a second, where you can clearly see how messed up the situation is for the Zionist state in Gaza. But let's read a little bit here more. The Israeli Broadcasting Authority reported, Khan reported, since the war began on October 7, the total number of Israeli soldiers killed has reached 826, with thousands more suffering from physical and psychological injuries. However, Palestinian resistance groups claim that the Israeli army is concealing its true losses due to fears of public backlash. The Gaza resistance frequently documents its operations, showing Israeli tanks being destroyed and soldiers targeted by snipers and explosive devices. We have already said that the IDF forces, they are trying, or they actually have hide the actual number of casualties, and the 826 soldier being eliminated since October 7 is not the actual number. The number is in thousands. So we do not know the exact number because IDF, they are not revealing anything to us. But there is this guy who did make mention of what is really happening in IDF in Israel. This guy, his name is Avi Isaacroff, and he's an analyst. And this guy, he made some very bold statements about the situation of the IDF, and he basically is saying that we are effed up in Gaza. The Palestinian movement Khamas continues to, this is what he said, continues to resist surrender in Gaza and has reportedly learned to shift to guerrilla warfare, according to Israeli analyst Avi Isaacroff. In an article published on Thursday in the Israeli newspaper Yediot Aharonot, Isaacroff explained that the Israeli army's 162nd Division is operating in northern Gaza, including the Jabalia refugee camp, in an effort to dismantle Hamas infrastructure, but they are unsuccessful in doing so. The big problem is that to do this, to dismantle this infrastructure, you need to strike every house suspected of containing tunnels or hostile activity. Yeah, who is stopping you from doing that? You know, you guys are animals. Like the way you behave, you're worse than animals. You go and kill innocent civilians and you destroy every single household, every single one of them, trying to find just one resistance force fighter. That's what they are doing. This is absolute genocide. The analyst described northern Gaza as a disaster zone with empty streets and hardly any stray dogs left, as even they cannot find food. I mean, yeah, this is a ghost town. And then you meet real men when you go there, not ghost. You meet real men. The IDF forces, they meet real men, and those are the resistance forces. And then when they see them, they run away or they get killed. Just like 3 of these were eliminated only 24 hours period of time. Actually, 4 of them. Israel began a large-scale military offensive in Jabalia over 3 months ago, displacing tens of thousands of Palestinians, destroying countless buildings, and causing significant casualties. Palestinians have accused Israel of attempting to occupy the area, turning it into a buffer zone and forcing residents to flee through relentless bombardment and a strict siege that has deprived them of food, water, and medicine. And recently they have passed, or they're trying to pass, a bill where they will just kill everybody in Gaza unless they have those white helmet. And they have also they're also trying to pass a bill in the Knesset to stop supplying any energy, food, medicine into Gaza. They are basically saying we need to completely destroy them. However, according to Isaac Schropp, the Israeli army is also paying a heavy price in northern Gaza due to stiff Palestinian resistance. The price that the generation of young fighters is paying in body and soul during this war is unimaginable. Basically, he's saying that we are done. We made a big mistake by going to Gaza. We never thought the resistance forces would be so tough, so stiff. According to him, Isaac Schropp, there are three main problems for the Israeli army in Gaza. One, it would take months and months of fighting to finish clearing northern Gaza Strip alone. Two, Israeli losses are considerable. So again, when you see the number 826 only soldier got killed in Gaza, IDF soldier, you know that these are lies, because this guy is saying the Israeli losses are considerable. Just a few weeks ago, he wrote, a force of 12 soldiers from our Samson battalion went on an operation and intercepted an RPG rocket. 4 soldiers were killed on the spot. Yeah, we already know these things. It is not something new to us or shocking, because the resistance forces, they're very, very tough. They're very, very courageous. They're showing all the bravery in the world when we see nothing but cowardness from the Zionist forces. But this is what you have from A.B. Isaac Schropp. He is an analyst, and he shared what he thought would be something helpful for the IDF in order to make future plans about Gaza or agree to a ceasefire, because this game for them is over. They know they cannot win this war, and they're facing defeat every single day, and it is becoming ever more evident to all of us. Thank you so much for joining this session. See you in the